What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Dalton and this is Bertrand Acres, and today we are going to be installing a fish feeder here in this beautiful pond. And not just any fish feeder. We're going with a pretty cheap, budget-friendly fish feeder, and there's not many videos here on YouTube on this. So I figured, you know what? Let's film it. Let's put it up, see how it does. I think everything I have here is like right around 110 bucks, something like that. I will put a link in the description to everything we use. Under 100 bucks for just the feeder. And if you guys have looked into feeders, and you probably click on this video because you're interested in a cheap option, they can go up to 1,500 bucks, maybe even more. And I just feel like that's kind of overkill. Now, I'm sure the build quality is phenomenal and all that, but it's a fish feeder, right? This one can last me a couple years, a few years even. I'll be pretty happy. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. It should be a relatively easy setup, and I'm excited to see what it can do. Oh, and one more thing before we get started, I want to say a big shout out to Lucas with Peaks Peak Hobby Homestead. I actually found his video on this. I was just looking on YouTube for a budget-friendly fish feeder because I was looking them up and I was like, man, I don't want to spend $1,200 or $1,500 on a fish feeder. Like that seems a little bit crazy. Feeding the fish is important to me, but I was hand feeding them, and that was kind of getting to be a pain if I was out of town and I had to have my parents maybe come over here, someone else come feed them, or whatever it may be. I was like, a fish feeder just makes more sense. I know they're fed. You know, I want these fish to be healthy. You know, they're not going to be fished out of here. This is going to be their home for their whole life. So I want to make sure they're healthy. I want to make sure they're getting fed every single day at the same time, so they know when to expect it. And so yeah, shout out to Lucas. I seen your video, and this kind of gave me an idea. And I don't know if he did the exact way. I mean, it's probably pretty close. I think he used a T-post. For those that are new to the channel, we have coppernose bluegill in here. We have regular bluegill here in North Florida. We have fathead minnows, and we also have 4 of the triploid grass carp. So they're like sterile grass carp. They can't reproduce. When we put them in here, they're about 8 to 9, maybe 10 inches, and they are now probably pushing 2 feet long, maybe just under that. I mean, it's pretty significant. They've probably at least doubled in size, and you'll see them cruising around here every once in a while. They get spooked relatively easy, but they are huge. Like they are very big. They eat all the vegetation in the pond. That's why the pond stays so pretty. I also dye the pond. I keep up on it pretty well, I would say. For being a new pond owner, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this video. I could talk for hours. Let's go. All right, so we got the old Ranger backed up here to the pond. Here's what we got. Multi-directional feeders for, you know, deer or fish, either one. It's a 6-volt battery. I ended up buying this, a T-post driver here. I had this random T-post that's laying around. A little solar panel to charge it. You don't really need this. I actually got 2 of these batteries, so I can just swap them out, but I'm gonna end up probably hooking this up. Maybe not in this video, but I did get it for this battery, so maybe I will. And this is just a T-post like hinge pins, they call it. I'm gonna use these to kind of hook the top of the bucket on it. I'm gonna try my best to make this a pretty clean looking setup because I don't want it to be like all, you know, just trashy looking out here. So I'm gonna try to make it look pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in the water right here because it's a really shallow part. I want to get it kind of close because it kind of drops off a good bit right here. I want it to be kind of over there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put it like either right on the edge here, or I'm gonna put it in the water. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox everything and show you what we got. All right, so here's what we got. Comes with this bucket, obviously. There is the actual feeder itself. I got these for the T-posts. They actually kind of go on top, and I'm gonna use it as like just to kind of hold it like this on the T-post. I don't really know if I'm gonna need both of them, but I'm gonna see how it holds. If it swings too much, then I'll have to find a different way to kind of lock it to the T-post. I just put the T-post in right there just to kind of see. It's in the water. I don't know how long it's gonna last in the water. I'm not too worried about it because T-posts are cheap. I have a bunch of them over there in the woods. And so I'm gonna leave it in the water right there. And I still have to drive it down. I haven't drove it much at all. I just kind of knows just by hand. All right, so this is gonna be simple. Nice little lid. You see in there. Let's open up this. Some screws. All right, let me go ahead. I gotta program this sucker. This thing's already on. See the bottom? And then this just goes over those little posts there, and he just twists it in and it locks in. So very simple, I like that. So it sits pretty nice like that. I'm just kind of concerned it's gonna like swing around on there, but I do have another hinge right here. If I put it at the bottom of it and drilled a small hole in the bottom of that bucket and have this like notched up into it, it'd still probably want to swing around a little bit, but this would hold the bottom in place, I guess technically. All right, so here's what we got. I actually got it from Nuwala Fish Company, the same company that I got my fish from. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill that bucket up. We're gonna do some test runs. I'm hoping it will clear that log. Got it sitting right there. So let me go ahead and fill this up real quick. And we'll do some test runs real quick. All right, it's not completely full. It's up there. All right, guys, so I have it set on 2 o'clock. It's actually about to be 2 o'clock. And I mean, I already fed these fish more than enough, probably. But I wanted to see if this thing does it. I put it on a 4-second feed, because 6 seconds seems like a lot, but maybe not. Well, I think there's like a rule of thumb. If they're still eating like 15 minutes after, then you're good. But if they kind of slow down before the 15 minutes is up, you need to kind of dial it down. So I have the spinner on high. There we go. Oh yeah. All right, so a little bit right there. Yeah, I mean, so we got like maybe an eighth of the food kind of fell in this little area here behind the big branch, but most of it went right there, and a lot of it kind of shot out there as well. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Honestly, we could probably set up the solar panel if we wanted to. And we'll hold off on that for now. But yeah, I'm happy with that. You can see, I think the fish have already kind of slowed down. They're still eating. Like, you can see the little tiny fish are eating right here. The bigger bluegill are right here, kind of feeding a little bit. The frenzy's kind of over for the big fish. But now I think the little fish are kind of sneaking in. You can see the little fathead minnows here, getting theirs. And look at all this stuff starts making its way out here anyway. So this is gonna be perfect, I think. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Again, this is very cheap. I'll put a link in the description to all the stuff I used. I'm not setting up the solar panel just yet. I want to see how long the battery lasts. And I didn't even charge the battery. It's showing full, so I think they came relatively full from Amazon. So I'll keep you guys updated on how long it lasts. I'm doing 4-second feeds Monday through Sunday, so every single day. And I'll let you guys know if the battery needs to be swapped out. I got 2 batteries, and I do have that solar panel. But I want to see how long they last without charging them. And without keeping a solar on them. And then I'll probably end up adding a solar eventually, but I mean, I already have it, so maybe I will. I want to make it to where it's not super tacky over here, because the pond, it's a beautiful pond, it looks awesome, and so I don't want it to be like just kind of, you know, trashy over here. So all right guys, so I may have lied, and I did lie. I said I probably am not going to put the solar panel up, but here it is. I put it up. It was so simple. It came with 4 screws, 2 of which mount this little bracket here, and the other 2 are self-tappers to drill into other metal or whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to risk water getting in right here on the lid, and then that ruining the food, and then the food ruining the actual feeder itself. So I'm gonna find some sort of maybe a magnet or something that holds it here, or maybe make a bracket for the T-post here and have it set right here. But pretty nice, very cheap. Came with this like corrugated like wire loom. I have to add some extra right here. It goes into the solar little rubber plug there. So it should stay somewhat watertight. And yeah, it was just so simple not to do it, so I ended up doing it. I didn't film it, but anyone can do it. No one needs to really see this get done. It was so simple. So Yeah, I don't know if it's actually charging yet. I can't tell if it's charging. I don't know if it will tell you if it's charging, but we'll know in a month from now if that battery is still 100% or not. So I think it's gonna be just fine. It's a very small solar panel. This thing is only being used for 4 seconds a day. You know, we got a bunch of daylight down here in Florida, so it's probably gonna stay 100% full all the time until the battery just kind of gives up, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. If you're interested in any of this stuff, I will put it down below in the description. I got it all off Amazon. If you get everything I bought without including the T-post driver, I think it was like a little over $100. The thing itself was 85. And you could probably find the majority of this stuff around the house to make it work. Like, I already had the T-post. I probably could have got it done without the driver even. Just use a sledgehammer or something. I added these little hinges to make it a little easier. I haven't really accumulated a bunch of junk out here at the new house yet, so I just bought it off Amazon. But yeah, if you're interested in this exact setup, I'll put it down below in the description. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I don't know if you can see them. I can barely see them. You probably can't, you know. But I just seen the big grass carp go by. They don't usually eat like the other fish. Like, they're not like a crazy jump out of the water. You can see them right there, the water bubbling up right there. That's them. You can tell when it's them though. Like, they move some water. They're probably 10 times the size of the next biggest fish in here, so big.